And we're back, and I'm back. Skinner back on the mic. I ate a lot of bacon and got some coffee, and now I'm ready for more awful games. I hope you guys are too. I have quite a few donations here I can read. This one from Cherry Doom that says, for $50, it says, "Don't bury me with my money, give it all to charity. Awesome to see this stunning tribute to Western film played with such speed and skill." I don't know about stunning, but maybe it stunned me a little bit. 50 from Dark Chozo. Good to finally see a quality game like Town with No Name in a GDQ. Here's to a first try drink catch. Hope we see the secret train ending too. I don't think we saw that, but we definitely saw the first try drink catch, which was fantastic. $50 from Let's Remax. Thank you all for this wonderful event and for the awesome community getting together for a great cause. Unfortunately, I was able to attend, but 2016, I'm looking at you. Keep up the hype, and P.S. Bless Brosentia for the patient in the Town with No Name, aka WTF is going on here. Cheers. $10 from Fingers to Hand. The Town with No Name. Oh my god, I forgot how amazing the cutscenes are. I just had to donate another 10 just because of this game. All of it goes to killing the animals, which is fantastic. I am super in agreement with. Brosentia did donate his money for getting in that drink catch, and I think it's going to kill the animals too. Yes. Brosentia is also killing the animals. $75 from Ian McCulloch. Give me a drink, bartender. This is the game I've been waiting for the entire marathon. It's somehow even better live than I was prepared for. Thanks to Percentia for putting this together. Here's to Psycho Killer, the studio's other game, showing up at a GDQ sometime in the future. Also, Kill the Animals. Frames have feelings too. Thank you. We're going to possibly get Kill the Animals caught up. It's way behind in conjunction with all of this. Next we got coming up AdamAK doing William Shatner's Tekwar, and then Kefka14 doing Sneaking.
that's interesting.
Surprisingly, I would like to get audio. I'm going to plug this. What's going to happen? The audio is going to come to us. Instead of you getting it from the laptop speakers, you're going to get it from the couch speaker. Does that work for you?
That should be okay, yeah. I don't really have any audio cues for this game anyways, so.
Wow, these cables are sure rather intertwined.
It's a mess downstairs here as well.
We've got a $25 donation from Bear Pig Man. It says, I promised 3 for each beer dropped, but you did it first try, so I'm upping my donation promise.
There's input lag then. I can't play from that screen. Alright, hang on. I'm gonna be a dirty cheater and just use my own screen. Alright, cool. Shall I just give you a countdown? Oh, okay. Let's go in 3, 2, 1, now. Alright, so this is William Shatner's Tekwar, which is what we call a meme game. It's pretty special. It's an FPS from 1995, made in Build Engine, and it's absurdly fast. I don't know why it's absurdly fast. It just is. It's pretty non-linear as well. All the stages are actually really huge, although you won't get to see most of the stuff. And most of the stages revolve around me collecting a bunch of keycards, which you can see on the right-hand side of the screen, opening up keypads, or well, doors, and at the end of each stage there's this tech lord I have to kill. Basically the whole universe of this game is that you kind of hunt down these drug lord-like people. As you might have noticed, I move ridiculously quickly. And in fact, I move so quickly that I can jump in between metro stations. So instead of taking the train, I just skip it altogether. Alright. This game is so fast that it's impossible to actually have clean movement. I've tried, but there's too many obstacles to get stuck on. And glitch-wise, there isn't too much, other than clipping through that door. It's mostly just moving ridiculously quickly and shooting stuff down. This game was pretty ambitious in its development. They planned to have like loads of different states for all the actors and such. You know, that all the NPCs could be afraid of you or like aggressive or whatever. But you know, it was a bit too ambitious in fact, and they didn't really get around to it. The final game is a bit of a mess, in fact. Once I've defeated all these tech lords, all these drug dealers, it's not over yet, because there's going to be a special stage, which is about half of the speedrun actually. And I have to give a bit of a seizure warning for that one, because it's going to get freaky. Oh yeah, in fact, I can move so quickly in this game that I can crash the game by clipping through stuff. Apparently I move faster than the collision works sometimes. Running upstairs, for instance, is kind of lethal. It tends to just crash the game. Okay, let's see. One of the hardest things throughout the run is just pressing keypads, because they're tiny. You can aim straight for them and still not actually hit them, which is kind of annoying. Also, the bullets of this gun don't fire in a straight line, they just kind of fire in a bit of a random pattern. Okay, this is a tricky stage because I have to do 6 of those metro jumps, you know, where I jump from one station to another. And if I mess up one of them, then I have to redo the entire stage, which is kind of costly time-wise. Because you lose all the keycards and stuff, and you just have to kind of start from the beginning again. So I'm playing it a little bit safe, and hopefully I'll be able to get them all first try. That was a close one, actually. Whenever I do PB attempts, I just kind of go for it. I don't really wait around and align myself with the other metro station. We should be okay for now. Next one is going to have a couple of metro jumps as well. When I first played this game, which was, I think, late 2013, it took me about 9 hours to complete it because I had absolutely no idea what was going on throughout the game. And the second time through it was like 28 minutes or so. Because this game just doesn't tell you anything. You just kind of start off. The original game actually has a bunch of cutscenes, but when you play it in DOSBox, these don't seem to play. You have to play it like on a Pentium 3 or something for it to show up. And I don't have one of those. Not anymore, at least. Okay, this is a bit of a risky stage because sometimes you can be blown up by those barrels that I jumped over. You saw them for about 0.1 second. This is actually a gigantic stage, and it's incredibly easy to get lost in it. I would show you the minimap, but that would take a while to show you the true size of all these maps. I jump on top of that lady to boost my way up. That skips a bit of backtracking here. Just jump through a window, walk through some laser fences, and shoot the random guy in here. Only 2 more of these guys left. Okay, this is going to be the stage where I have to watch out for the staircase because I can actually crash the game. Okay, doors can be a bit weird as well. Sometimes they just don't open. Okay. The first people to actually run this game, well, the first person to run this game was Oasis, who introduced me to this glorious title. He found out about it. Yeah, there's a metro jump death, unfortunately, so I have to redo this section. But yeah, Oasis and Shrimp actually raised this game back in late 2013, and somehow convinced me to do this as well. I went into it blindly, and it was 9 hours of agony. Another runner for this game right now is Util. He's probably the only kind of active runner, and he's currently got the world record as well for this game, which stands at 11 minutes and 29 seconds. There's only like 1 or 2 small mistakes on that run. It's very close to being perfect, I would say. Okay. 1 more guy left. Okay, I nearly fell off the platform there, but managed to run back onto it. So, the reason why I move so quickly is because there's this strafe running option, and I'm using the mouse for it. So essentially, I'm just moving sideways really quickly like this, way faster than I can actually run. Technically, you'd want to use this in pretty much throughout the entire run. You want to use this everywhere, but it's not feasible to move at that kind of speed. You'd completely lose track of where you are. So if you would do a tool-assisted speedrun of this game, it would probably take about 5 minutes instead of, the 12 or so that it typically takes in real time. Okay, so now we're entering the Matrix stage, and this is the seizure stage. I'm going to do the worst segment of it first, which makes no sense whatsoever. It's just the most 90s thing I can think of, with random bleeps and just, yeah, I don't even know what. It's pretending that you're inside a computer or something. Tekwar is based on a TV series and a series of books as well. I've actually watched the TV series. It was surprisingly amusing. And this is a bit of a spin-off story compared to the TV series. Okay. The reason why this is the worst stage is because you have to fly down, you have to fly up for ages, and then you enter this seizure corridor which flashes like crazy. We're going to have to go back through this one as well. It's 10 out of 10 level design. I don't know what they were thinking with some of these stages. And once again, as you might have noticed, the game just doesn't tell you anything about this Matrix stage, so you just kind of enter it and then you have to figure out what to do. Okay, so I press that switch, now the pillar is lowering, and I have to wait for another switch to appear here. It tends to take a while. In the meantime, we can enjoy this amazing sound effect. This is the only slow section in this Matrix stage. All the other ones can be done in like 30, 40 seconds. This one just has kind of, you know, these waiting bits. And there's the switch. Okay, I always have to double check that I actually press the switch. I'm doing that because sometimes you can do a kind of double press and the switch still shows up as if it was pressed, but it actually wasn't pressed. And then, you know, you continue with the level and it turns out that, you know, some kind of door is not unlocked and you're just kind of stuck. You have to backtrack and figure out where it went wrong. Pretty much any time I reach the kind of ending part of each sub-level, I'm going to exit the stage entirely and respawn at the start again, just because it's faster than moving in between the individual sections. Because there are teleporters in between them. Oh yeah, if you run into these pillars too quickly, you crash the game as well. So that's a kind of common theme in this game. A lot of things you can do in this game will just crash them. Nice misaligned textures here. I always love these. Okay, so there's going to be this switch here. Hello? Okay, so this is one of those examples where the switch didn't actually work, which is pretty amazing. That has not happened in a practice run in a very long time now. Makes me wonder which one it is. Unfortunately, this probably means that I have to backtrack towards this one. Or in fact, I'm actually going to reset the stage, just because you can't tell for sure which one messed up. That sucks, but, you know, that's Tekwar. Happened to me in the blind race as well, and there's a lot worse there, because you don't even realize what happened. Okay, so that one definitely worked. And then there's one more. So even though this is a bit of a joke game, and it is a kind of awful game, it's surprisingly tricky to speedrun, mainly because of the ridiculously fast movement speed. The Matrix stages as well, they are filled with enemies, filled with blockades, and lots of kind of tight corridors that you have to turn through. It's also very fun to speedrun though, so if you're interested in this, there's, you know, we're always happy to introduce you to this awesome game. Oh. There we go. That one's definitely pressed. It must have been the pillar switch that somehow didn't get registered. Doesn't happen very often. There's some invisible enemy shooting me. I actually play on easy mode during this run, which only affects my health. It doesn't change anything else. And the only reason why I play on easy mode is because with 1000 HP I don't have to worry too much about enemies, and I can just kind of breeze through the stages. Doing actual combat in this game is pretty silly. It doesn't work very well. They didn't do a particularly good job with it. And if you play on the hardest difficulty, which I've done before, you get like 100 HP instead of 1000, and you die very, very quickly. It's not worth the hassle. It wouldn't make for a fun run. Anyway, that switch should be fine this time. So let's try and reach the end of this level again. Hope you guys are enjoying the seizure. I always use the mini-map there just to actually figure out what direction I'm facing, because you can't tell. It's completely black in front of me. There's no references or anything like that. Oh, there we go. Alright, let's see how this goes. Okay, yeah, so now the door is open, and here's the switch that I want to press, and then I just exit the stage and re-enter it again. And I'm going to do all the other sections as well. And these are going to be a lot shorter than that one. And there is a smaller chance of actually crashing the game as well, fortunately, so that's good. In this section, there's a trick that I can do to kind of skip a cycle, because I have to wait for this thing to push me around through this tunnel. Unfortunately, if I try this trick, I might actually softlock the game, so I'm just going to play it safe and wait for the cycle. It's happened to me a lot during practice. I get it like 50% of the time. You basically get stuck inside the side of this like whatever you want to call it, this transporter wall. And you can't exit it. The only way to get rid of, or to kind of, free yourself from it is to just exit the stage and start all over again. Okay, this switch is kind of nasty because you don't want to get stuck inside that section. The wall that I just lowered temporarily, it raises as well after a while. Okay, here's number 2. And instead of quitting the stage, I'm actually going to use this teleporter because it's slightly closer by. Oh, come on. There we go. And here we go. Another lovely seizure-like room, tons of flashing. When you play this game for the first time, you really have no clue what's going on in these stages. Okay, that's another switch done in a moment. Why is this one locked now? That is interesting. I'm wondering if one of the switches glitched out on me again now. Which would kind of suck. This one is pressed. This one is also pressed. This one is also pressed. Well, that's fun. I guess I might have to quit the stage again and just redo it, because one of the walls didn't open up. Twice in one run is extreme bad luck. That has not happened in any practice run for a very long time. But let's just try it again. Okay. Unfortunately, with this many switches in the map, you can't tell which one actually broke on me. This one didn't register now. Okay. And now we're good, all of a sudden. Yeah, so one of the switches just broke on me again. Okay. Mostly done with the Matrix stage now. The other ones are fairly short. The strafing I used in the kind of regular stages also works in this stage. It's just very awkward to use overall. There aren't too many of those kind of long, straight stretches where I could use it, so I typically just, use regular controls and just kind of fly around. But once again, in a test environment, you would be able to actually just use the strafing method everywhere, like I used there. Okay, that's another one. 3 more of these left, and then we're going to fight the final boss, which is a kind of pathetic boss fight, really. Stuck on an enemy here. That's kind of unlucky. Oh. This is a terrible level, because you have to pass through this area that deals a lot of damage, and unless you know exactly where to go, you're going to get stuck there and just die. That happened to me tons of times before I just memorized the pattern. It's actually a maze where you take all that damage, so I don't know what they were thinking with that level design. Oh, come on. This section is filled with areas that kind of close in on you, and you're just stuck there. And you slowly take damage and die. And there's no warning, there's no indication, that you're going to get stuck there and that you will die. It's just random sections. Fortunately for the speedrunning route, you never pass through those sections, so it's not too much of a concern. Okay, should be 1 more left now. Oh, that's the wrong one. This level has a 3D maze in it, which is horribly confusing because it's filled with fake walls as well, like this one. And everything is just the exact same color. There's no references for where you are. The minimap is not helpful either. You just see a bunch of squares on it. Okay, so now we're in the boss stage, so get ready for time as well. Oh, come on. Where's this guy? There he is. And time. That is absolutely terrible. Yeah, so the time sucks, but that's mainly because I just got screwed over by the switches not working. That's about 4 minutes gone, probably. But yeah, overall, pretty fun game, pretty cool speedrun. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And have fun with the next speedruns as well. I'll see you guys around.
All right, thank you, AdamAK, for your run. We've got coming up now Sneaking, played by Kefka14. And then Swamp Thing by Mecha Richter, which is a video game. I've got some donations here. One of them is $5 from Sven, and it says, I want the Burger King mask. Happy running. Yeah, there is a prize with some Burger King items. Burger King mask, a crown, and a gift card. Very exciting thing. Not as exciting as the Beethoven's prize, but it's pretty good.